Okay, so today we're going to be speaking about faith, having belief in yourself. And I have an analogy that I want to share with you guys that I recently, there's a perspective I unlocked, the other day. And I thought it'll be great to share it with others because it might help someone out. It could help a lot of people out. So I'll just jump straight into it. It's like watching an anime. Now, not everyone watches anime, so you could extrapolate this idea to I'd say any film where there was a main character who, you know what I mean, who you watch them develop, or any series where you watch this character develop, you know what I mean? Okay, now I want to stick with the anime example. Specifically, I want to use Black Clover. It's a great anime, by the way. You should go watch it. There's a lot of esoteric things, like esoteric perspectives that you could take from that anime if you really watch it for real, you know what I mean, and not just consume it. But have you ever rewatched an anime or a show, you know what I mean, and you know how you would already know mostly everything? At least you already know that the main character can get whatever it is that they was working toward. So for me, let's say the show that I got this perspective from, Black Clover, for me, it's like Asta, toward the end, because I don't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't watched it, so I'm not going to use that example. But let's say a show that you've already watched and you already know what's going to happen, right? But you just want to watch it again. Okay, so I want you to start thinking from the perspective of you being the thing that's watching the character, that's observing everything about the character, everything. You know what I mean? You could hear their thoughts. You see how they move. You see they grow. You know what they can grow to, and you just know everything about the character. You know everything about the character. You know what I mean? Now, here's where it gets interesting. It's more than just observing. You see how you'd watch a show over and your character would go through hardships, and they may go through stages or in the beginning stages when they weak and they struggling and they, you know what I mean, they just ain't working out, or you know what I mean, they going through a lot of rough patches. You who already watched the show before and you know what can happen in the end, you saying to yourself, you still rooting for that character. You still dog, it's okay because I know he can get you this, or I know she can get you this, bro. You see it from a different perspective now because you know what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen to this main character, right? You know that this person can end up being successful in the thing that they doing, right? Even though in the beginning, it may seem like they struggling, or even while they growing, a bunch of fuck up shit may happen. They may go through a rough patch or two, right? But you still have this faith in this character. You still have this deep inner knowing that this character can be successful, bro. You enjoy the show even more because you know where it ending up. You watching this character struggle. You watching this character fail time and time again. You watching this character learn all type of lessons, go through all type of experiences. But you still have this, no matter what, you still have this deep inner knowing that they are going to be successful. Now, here's how I want you to see it. Life is the same way. Life is literally the same way. You are an observer. You are not your body. You are not your physical body. What you are is the thing that's hearing me speak right now. You are awareness. I want you to start thinking from that perspective. Observe everything. Thoughts are not yours. Except for the thoughts that you consciously give yourself. Those thoughts that come to you out of nowhere, those are not yours. There are clouds in the sky passing by, and you are the sky. You are not the clouds. You could choose which clouds you want to look deeper into and attach yourself to, but not attack, sorry. You could choose which clouds you want to entertain and enjoy for the moment, but for the most part, it's always going to pass. Emotions, they're always going to pass. Let them pass. Feel them. Experience them. But don't be so attached to them to where, don't be so hooked on them. You know what I mean? Now, let's get back to the analogy. It's like watching the character in the end. By the last episode, they're going to be successful because I've already watched this. You came here as a soul knowing everything that's going to happen in your life. You came here as a soul wanting to experience suffering and pain and triumph. You understand? You came here to experience that. You came here on earth to experience that. So let's go back to watching the show that you already know everything and how everything can play out in the end. Even when that character feels sad, you may feel sad. When that character fail, you may feel, down, or you may be encouraging them. You know what I mean? You need to encourage yourself the same way. You need to because you have to have this deep inner knowing within yourself that, dog, my character, me, I am going to make it, bro. I'm gonna be successful, bro. No matter what this external world may throw at me, as long as my internal world's straight, I good. I know I can get through this. I know I can be successful. You have to have that same deep inner knowing. Just how the character in the show may be sad or go through a fuck up situation, you may feel sad. You may even cry. But does that shake your conviction? No, it doesn't. Because you already know what's gonna happen. You already know. The one thing that you could be sure of, you don't know. Now, in life, you may not know how it's gonna happen, but you just know that, bro, if I keep doing this thing, I'm going to be successful in the end. I know. I just know. Now, I ain't about to repeat myself, but it's like in the show where the character may feel sad or they may go through a traumatic experience and you may cry, you may feel hurt, you may, you could empathize with the character, but that doesn't shake your conviction in the fact that I know on the last episode, I know this character can still be successful. Life is the same way. Feel the emotions. Experience these emotions. They're clouds. Let them pass. Just don't be so attached to them that you let them catch momentum. You know what I mean? You came to this earth to experience. You came to this earth as a physical reincarnation of God, to experience pain, to experience suffering, to experience triumph, to experience all of these emotions. It's like watching a show over again, but you don't know the plot. Life wouldn't be fun if you knew exactly what was going to happen every step of the way. You know what I mean? But if it's one thing that you do know, when you watch a show again, you may not know every single detail. There may be parts of the show you're like, oh shit, I forgot about that. And then it gives you a thrill. That's how it's supposed to be. That's how life is. That's how life is. That's how life is. That's how life is meant to be experienced. So I say that to say, you are the thing that's watching the character. You're actually animating this meat skin, this meat suit. But perspective-wise, I want you to see yourself as the observer. When that character thinks, you could hear it. You're not attached to their thoughts, but you could hear it. When that character when that character, going through hardships and struggle, because you watched the show already, you know that the character is going to get through it, even if it take them long, even if they near death, even if they near losing their sanity. You just know, bro. It's crazy because I know this character again. Like, I know how this character is going to end up. I know they're going to end up successful. That's crazy. It's like, see, it's the same with life, bro. This meat suit that you have on, this body that you're animating, this is just the character. Don't be so attached to the character that it throws you off. You understand? Like, when you experience traumatic experiences or sadness or, you know what I mean? Don't be so attached to those emotions, bro. Be detached. Step back and observe. You could even say the word in your head, observe. When you see you going through certain things, you struggling or, depression or, you know what I mean? You may be sad or something may happen and it makes you angry. Step back, breathe, and just say to yourself, observe. Just as a way to remind yourself that you are the observer. You are the thing that's aware of these emotions, not the emotions itself or not the body. You are more than that. The same way you would have faith in that same character from the show that you rewatched, the same way you would have faith and conviction, unshakable knowing, unshakable faith that you just know this character can be successful, you have to see your life like that. See your life in that same perspective. See your life from that same perspective. I know I going through struggle right now, but I know my story is going to end with me being successful. I know my story is going to end with me achieving what it is that I desire to accomplish. You understand what I'm saying? Start seeing things. Perspective is very important. Perspective is very important. How you perceive something, when you change the way you look at something, what you look at changes. That's a famous quote. That's one of my favorite quotes. It's from Bob Proctor. Great spiritual teacher, by the way. You should look into him. But when you change the way you look at something, what you look at changes. I have a video that I recorded where I was speaking about, I have a whole video about perspective. I don't know if I'll upload it, if it'll be uploaded by the time as I upload this or if I'll upload it after, but I have a whole video on me speaking about perspective. You could take a can of cream and you could say, one person could say, this is just a can of cream. I'm going to make some cereal with it. And the next person could look at that same can of cream and say, this is a weapon, bro. Who was right and who was wrong? Exactly. There's no right and wrong. Everything is a half truth. I don't want to get too off topic, but you see where I'm going with this. Perspective is very important. So if you perceive your struggles or your hardships or adversity as this leading into my success story, you could either see it as that or you could see it as, oh my God, bro, like, what the fuck, bro? Like, how am I going to make it out of it? You know what I mean? There's always a split perspective. You could see things from plenty different perspectives. You just have to choose which way you want to see it. And that comes with taking a step back and reminding yourself that you are an observer. You are an observer. You understand? Observe life. Observe life. Detox yourself. You understand? Unplug yourself and observe. You are awareness. I am awareness. I can repeat it again. You are the thing that is hearing me right now. You are the thing that when you rub your fingertips together and you feel that sensation, you are the thing that's aware of that sensation. That's you. You are not the meat suit that you have on. This is just your shell. This is a shell, bro. You understand? This is a shell. Now, I don't know if there's anything else for me to say on that, but yeah, like, try to view life from that perspective. You came here as a soul to experience hardships, to experience a wide variety, a plethora of emotions and experiences. But you also came here because you know where you're going to end up. You just forgot. And constantly remembering as you go. You understand? You constantly finding your way as you go. That makes it fun. It's a game. You have to play the game. Play the game. Don't get so involved with the game to where you forget that you you dictate how the game goes. This is your storyline. Live it how you want to live it. You understand? You're going to be successful. You are successful. You are successful. You are triumphant. And I say enough from my heart, bro. Because I live in my dream. I live in my dream life right now. And I wouldn't say I'd never thought, but like for it to happen this quickly, I could never imagine it would have happened this quickly. You know what I mean? But I think this pretty much conclude my obsession for the day. I was trying to think if it's anything else that I wanted to say on that topic. But just to summarize, bro, I may be repeating myself, but just to summarize, it's like watching life is like watching a show that you've already watched again. You know what I mean? I mean that you've already watched and you're watching it again. You are not the character. You know what I mean? You don't get so attached to the character that every time they experience hardships or difficulty or sadness, you down spiral into this, you know what I mean? This wide range of negative emotions and negative thinking. You are the thing that's watching the character. You are the observer of the character. You are the observer of the thoughts that they have. You are the observer of the emotions that they experience. You may even experience the emotions, but you still have a level of detachment. You observe that character's growth. You observe that character's decisions. You know what I mean? You observe everything that they do. Life is the same way. Life is the same way. Don't get so attached to the character. Don't get so attached, to the character. You are an observer. Observe. Remind yourself. The word for the day is observe. Constantly remind yourself throughout the day. Observe, observe, observe. When someone made you mad, someone pissed you off, observe. When you feel that emotion rising up, I'm not saying ignore the emotions. You can't ignore emotions. You could only transmute them. You could only transform them. Observe. Even if you feel it. Just feel the emotion. Just don't act on it, but feel it. Feel the hurt. Feel the anger. You know what I mean? Feel the guilt. Feel it. Observe. And then make peace with it. Let that cloud pass. Don't hold on to the cloud as it passing. You are the sky looking at the clouds pass. Observe. I love you. Have an amazing day. And remember, observe. The word for the day is observe.